Good evening. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, Amrita.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining our session today. Kindly note that the PDU information will be shared with you at the end of the presentation. We will also have a question and answer session after our speaker completes the presentation. So we'd request you to post all your questions in the chat window until then. Let us not interrupt her through the session. And we would also like to remind you that in the interest of making the session useful and informative for all our audience members, we will only target general questions. Kindly refrain from asking any personal questions or queries related to your individual financial portfolios. We will not be using this as a platform to promote any specific products or make any financial recommendations. Thank you.
Welcome everyone. I'm Mrs. Aparna Kulkarni. ऐसे नहीं हुआ है। I'm volunteer with the Mumbai chapter of PMI. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Super. Welcome everyone. I'm Mrs. Aparna Kulkarni, volunteer with the Mumbai chapter of PMI. Today we come together for yet another engaging and exciting session organized and hosted by WEC Committee of PMI Mumbai chapter. WEC, the Women Engagement Committee, is an initiative by PMI South Asia region. The Women Engagement Committee is a dedicated group focused on empowering and supporting women within our PMI community. Our mission is to foster an inclusive environment where women can thrive personally and professionally through networking, mentorship, and advocacy initiatives. WOW, as in Woman of Wonders, is a counterpart of WEC in PMI Mumbai chapter. Together, we'll create opportunities for growth, networking, and collaboration. Let's embark on this journey with enthusiasm and dedication, knowing that by uplifting each other, we can achieve great things together. Thank you for being here, and let's make a difference together. With this, I now hand over to Ms. Amrita, a volunteer for PMI Mumbai chapter and WOW WEC group, to take this session ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I extend a very warm welcome to all our audience members this evening. Our guest speaker today is a speaker, trainer, and cross functional expert in personal finance and business process reengineering. She has a keen interest in empowering women through money, career, and life management. It is my great pleasure to introduce our speaker, Ms. Shilpa Wag. Ma'am, thank you
Hi.
for joining us this evening.
Yes.
Ms. Shilpa Wag has a bachelor in statistics, a master's in computer applications, and is also a certified financial planner conferred by Financial Planning Standards Board Limited of Denver, USA. She serves as a chief financial life coach at August Catalyst Private Limited. She has been a corporate trainer in the field of information technology, financial and tax planning, as well as HR development. She also coaches clients using a unique be your own light life goals based financial planning approach. Uh, so, without wasting any further time, ma'am, I leave the podium open to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amrita. And thank you, PMI Mumbai chapter and WOW, to give me this opportunity to talk to a wonderful audience. So I'll be sharing my screen and just let me know once you all start getting the screen visible. Is it visible to you all?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay. Okay. So I have 45 minutes and I'm going to cover a wonderful topic called financial life planning. And a definition is being seen in front of you. Okay. Affluence. Money equal to affluence. That is what we all think of, isn't it? But what is affluence? Affluence is to having the freedom, okay, to have everything that you need. Now, this sounds little unrealistic to us, like it's very difficult in the given resources to have everything that we want. But what if we define it in a little different way? Okay, it's more of a financial freedom to take decisions about your finances more freely than getting constrained by various things. And that is where the concept of mind comes in the picture. Money, mind, and bliss. Okay. We look at money as numbers. It's a number game. No, it's not a number game. Okay. We have heard about terms like behavioral finance, which very clearly defines that though money is numbers, the decision we make is not rational. Though we feel that we are very rational thinkers and we go by the analysis, we go by the factual information. But the problem is when it comes to decision making, many a times when the money is concerned, we get into emotions more than the facts. And that is the reason you must have heard about various terms like people getting duped because of some Ponzi schemes. Okay, as a third party, we feel that array, they should have known about it. How can they just do this? Or people being totally keeping away from the stock market, absolutely, because they have heard about their uncle or their, some other colleague who has lost lot of money in the stock market. They feel that it's not for me and I don't want to risk my money. So these are all emotional decisions. In today's session, we are going to talk about a term, okay, a term called financial freedom. Now, how to achieve this and how to actually make it as factual as possible, okay? You are all project management institute members. That means I think most of you will be related to the IT. And we are very good in analysis and we are good in numbers. Okay. So we are trying to get into two different aspects of financial freedom. Okay. Now, let us define financial freedom to begin with. Why are we working? We want to earn money. Okay. Why do you want to earn money? You want to earn money because you want to do something for someone. Who is that someone? Maybe a family member, maybe someone in the society, you yourself. Okay. That means our money is required for our life goals. Okay. Now, how do we do this? There are two steps. One is wealth management, another is financial planning. Let us get clarity about these two terms because these terms are used very interchangeably sometimes. They are totally different terms. In wealth management, there is a wealth manager who is managing your money. So the discussion with that person will be, how much return can I expect on the given money? Okay, you may go to your mutual fund distributor, you may go to bank, you may go to your stockbroker, and you will tell me that, okay, if I invest 10,000 rupees, then how much money can I expect to get at the end of, say, 3 years? This is called return on investment. Now, how financial planning is different than this? So, wealth management tells you that there are XYZ types of instruments available for investment. There are fixed income, there are stock, there is real estate, there is gold, there may be bitcoins. These are various means by which you can invest your money. And then you will discuss how much money can I get. But the reason why of that wealth investment is given by financial planning. So in financial planning is the why of you are doing your wealth management. Okay. So the discussion with the financial planner is not return on investment. It is like return on life, you can say. Okay. What are my life goals? Can I achieve them? Where am I falling short? Where is the gap? In which way can I do the investment so that I can actually reach my life goal? So these two fundamental differences we must understand so that we have correct expectation whenever you meet these professionals in your life. Okay. Very quickly, we will run through some money concepts, which are all known concepts. I'm just revising fast. Four important pillars of financial freedom. What are they? One is income, another is expense. Okay. Obviously, your income has to be more than the expense. If it's other way around, there is no money to invest. Okay. Expenses. Now, this is some thumb rules I'm giving you. Expenses can be divided into two main categories. One is the household, lifestyle, and dependent expenses. Okay. Household expenses, we all know, groceries, electricity, maids, okay, everything. Lifestyle expenses are maybe when you're going out, you're going for shopping, or you may have joined some hobby course. These are your lifestyle expenses. Dependent expenses, people who are financially dependent on you, maybe your children, your siblings, okay, your parents, who are they? As a thumb rule, we say that these three together should be max to max 35% of your income. Okay. And there is one more expense, which is EMIs. We all have loans. There can be housing loan, there can be education loan, car loans. Okay. So that should not go beyond 40%. So what are we saying? We are saying that 35% goes to household, lifestyle, and dependent expenses. 40% goes to EMI. So 75% is going. In that case, we are left with 25% of the investable surplus. Now, this is the most important thing we have to remember. Income minus all these expenses is investable surplus. More the investable surplus, better is the situation you are into. Okay. Another two pillars after income and expense are asset and liability. What are the assets? Whatever investments you have made, The house that you own, the car that you own, the jewelry that you have, all are assets. Okay. What are liabilities? If you have taken housing loan, if you have taken any kind of car loan, any kind of credit card you are using, credit card also is a loan, isn't it? And then personal loans some people take. So the most expensive of all is the credit card loan. Okay, so we must try to see, because this is the era of online shopping and many people just do the online shopping, and we have seen many of the clients, they are with big MNCs earning wonderful salaries, but most of the money is spent on online buying. Okay, so at the end of it, the investable surplus is less. They don't even have money to pay back their credit cards, whenever the payment comes up. And then when you don't pay, automatically that money is getting converted into the loan part of it. And so assets we have seen, liabilities we have seen, a very important concept which is called net worth. Asset minus your liabilities. That is the net worth, and that has to stay positive all the time. Okay. Another concept which is attached to liability is your credit score. CIBIL is one of the organizations. So those who have already taken loan or something, they must be aware of it. Whenever we take any loan, the repayment of it, the mobile bills repayment, the electricity bill payments, all these payments are monitored by these agencies. They are called credit rating agencies. This is for us individuals. Okay. And they come out with a credit score. Better the score, bank knows that you are a credit worthy person. Okay, so they are more than happy to give you loans. So normally in CIBIL, the score is on 900. So out of 900, any score above 750 is considered to be a very good score. Anytime you want loan and your score is 750 plus, it is more likely that they will consider your application for the loan. If it is less than 750, either they may not give you the loan or they may give you the loan at a higher rate. Okay, so it is always better that once in 2 3 years at least you check your CIBIL score just to see how your score is. Okay, so one homework or those who are already doing it, what you can do is you can make an Excel sheet of what is your income. Income can be salary income, business income, rental income, if you have any house which is given on rent, or investment income, agricultural income. So any such income which you are receiving, you can list it down. You have expenses. And so, the same classification as we spoke: household expenses, lifestyle expenses, and dependent expenses. These three together should not go more than 35% to the extent possible. Insurance also we have to consider, and loan servicing, that is EMI. So this chart, if you make, that will be very handy for you. Another chart you would like to make is investment assets. So what are your assets? What are the liquid assets? What is the meaning of liquid assets? Liquid means the investment which can be immediately converted into cash is called liquid. Okay. For example, if you have money in your savings account, it is immediately converted into the cash the moment you go take the ATM card, get the money. Okay. So it's highly liquid cash. But FD is something little less liquid than that. Okay. If you have real estate investment, that is absolutely less liquid. Okay, because it's not possible that someone can just sell the house in a day or two, right? So liquidity means how fast you can get the money. Okay, so mm, it may be cash in hand. Okay, then there is debt side. Debt is like, debt is not loan. This debt side is other than equity. What is the meaning of other than equity? It can be your fixed deposits, or it can be your public provident fund, it can be your employee provident fund, it can be your national savings certificate. Okay, or as I have listed, debt mutual funds. So all that will come here. Then your equity related investments, where the direct equity mutual funds, they can come, gold can come, and real estate can come. And then when you list all this, You have your investment assets here, okay? Your personal assets here. The difference between the two, just if you are really going to do this seriously, in real estate, you cannot put your residential flat, okay, because you're staying there. So though it is on your name, you cannot consider that as investment asset. It is an asset, but it is not an investment asset. Investment assets is something which you can sell off. Okay. So that's why we keep investment assets separately than the personal assets, personal liabilities, and then investment assets plus personal assets minus personal liabilities will give you your net worth. So this exercise will be helpful if you can go back home and do this for yourself. Another concept which we all know, inflation. Okay. Whatever we used to buy in say 1990 for say 1600 rupees. So probably we spent 10,000 to buy the same. Okay. Now this concept in financial planning is known as the time value of money. Okay. So what is the time value of money? Time value of money is the value of money, the 1 rupee, the purchasing power of 1 rupee goes down, it diminishes as the time progresses. That is time value of money. So it's the same concept viewed in a two different way. You take say a pen and the pen used to cost you 5 rupees. Today you go and you buy it, you have to pay 12 rupees. Is one way of seeing it, which we call inflation. Okay. Other way of seeing is if you somebody would have gifted you say 100 rupees note say 10 years back, you didn't do anything with that note, you just kept it in your purse, and today you find it again and you go and try buy something with the 100 rupees, you will be able to buy much less than what you would have bought in 10 years back. So that is the meaning of purchasing power of rupees going down. I'm just giving you different nomenclatures so that you are aware when people start talking about this. Okay. So inflation increases or purchasing power of rupee diminishes, both are the same thing. And it's both called the time value of money. This is the most important concept we have to understand when we have to do our financial planning effectively. Another good concept called power of compounding. Okay. Um, I'm sure you have heard about this. Okay. The more time your money stays in a particular investment, it gets enough time to multiply itself. And why it happens? That happens because of the power of compounding. What is the meaning of compounding? I invest 100 rupees at 10% per annum. Okay. So at the end of the year, I earn 10 rupees on that 100 rupees. So at the end of the year, I have 110 rupees. I continue the investment. Again, next year, I get 10% on 110. And so I get 11 rupees as my interest. Okay. So now I have 121 rupees. So you can see that every year, now next year I'm going to get 12.1. Okay. So every year I'm going to get more and more interest, though my principal remains the same, 100. But because the interest is getting accumulated in the same amount, okay, my interest starts growing. And that is what is shown here. So if someone has invested 10,000 rupees at the rate of 8%, at the end of the fifth year, that person will have 14,693. So how much has he gained in the first 5 years? 4,693. Now, what happens in the next 5 years? He continued the investment. So from 14,000, now he has jumped to 21,589, the increase of 6,000. And he continues that way. The point to be noted here is you can see how much jump he is getting in his interest. Okay. Nothing he has invested additionally. He has just kept the 10,000 rupees, but the interest is falling back and earning for him. And that is how the more time you stay invested, the more money you give time to grow. Okay. So that is the concept of long-term investment. CAGR, it is called CAGR, compound annual growth rate. Okay. This is the another term which is used very commonly by investment world, CAGR. Okay. Another word they will use is absolute return versus CAGR. Now, what is absolute return? Absolute return is 3 years back, I invested 100 rupees. Okay, today maybe that investment has got matured and I have got back 180 rupees. What is the absolute return? 100, on top of it, I got 80 rupees. So 80 rupees is my return. Okay, so that is what is absolute return. CAGR is annual, so it will always be converted into annual returns. Okay, you don't have to remember this formula. Okay, that this is like, final value upon the base value, then up raised to that 1 upon n, where n is the number of years minus 1. But you don't have to actually remember this formula. If you have Excel, you have all the functions available. Rate is the function for CAGR, and you can easily calculate your money, how much return you are getting. Another thumb rule I am just giving you. Rule of 72, 114 and 144. Okay. If someone tells you, like an investment person comes to you and tells you that, madam, I can give you a investment which will make your money double in 6 years. Okay. That means 100 rupees will become 200 in 6 years. What you should do, just divide that 72 by 6 years. Okay, so 12. So 12% is the rate of CAGR he is talking about. Okay, if the person tells you it will be doubled in 10 years, so I will say 72 divided by 10. So you are getting 7.2% rate of return, right? Similarly, other way around also. If someone tells you that this is the investment where you will get say 5% return. Okay, if it is the 5% return, how many years it will take to double the money? 72 divided by 5. That's the rule of 72. Similarly, the rule of 114, where the triple times of your money, 100 becomes 300. Okay, but the same concept. If someone tells you that it's going to get triple times in say 5 years, 6 years, you can immediately find the difference. So this is like the rule of 72, the rule of 114, rule of 144. Now let's come to wealth management. Okay, so with these concepts, with these basic concepts of money, now let us talk about wealth management. Four most important rules, the asset classes rather, that we have: fixed income, equity, real estate, and gold. I'll start with gold because most of the people are, I think, ladies here, and we are all fond of gold. So when we try to invest in gold, one is physical gold. So there are many people who keep buying some amount of physical gold, some coins every month. Okay. Or on occasions, they keep buying gold. Of course, that is a good way of buying. But the problem is that market is not such a regulated market, the physical gold market. And when you go to the shopkeeper, you are at the mercy of the shopkeeper who will tell you that how much pure the gold is and how much impure the gold is. And you have to just say yes to him most often, even if the hallmark and everything has come up. But still, there is some question marks, obviously, in the physical gold. Plus, the fear of theft is always there. The purity questions are there, and so we recommend paper gold. What is paper gold? Uh, in stock market, like we have stocks, there is something called exchange traded funds. Okay, that's a category of investment. There are gold ETFs available. So you can buy gold ETFs there. So like you buy 1 unit, like 1 gram, you will have 1 unit rate. Okay, they will not be exactly the same because obviously gold ETF will have its own administration charges and everything. But more or less, they are quite similar and their movement will be quite similar. Being gold being the underlying class, both of them will move in the similar direction. Plus, you have gold mutual funds also. Okay. In addition to that, government nowadays come out with sovereign bonds, gold bonds. Okay, they come out for some shorter period, and these bonds are available for us to purchase in that period. They have 8 year maturity cycle. After 5 years, I think the lock-in ends, and then you can do the trading of it. Okay, and every year they give you some interest, though it is quite less, like 2 point something or something, but at least you're getting something. The movement of the rate of the gold will be like the normal gold, whatever is happening. Okay. So gold is a good asset class. How much of your portfolio? First of all, what is portfolio? Portfolio is nothing but various of your investments together is called a portfolio. Okay. How much of your portfolio should be gold? Not more than 10 to 15%. I'm not talking about how much jewelry you should make. Okay. That is, you can make as much, but that is not in, if you are considering it as investment, then it should not be like 10 to 15% is good enough of your portfolio. Then comes the real estate. Now, this is another very emotional and weak point of Indians. We want to have our own house. Okay. And we want to have as many houses as we can to save the tax is one of the misconceptions or whatever we call it. But many people buy it. Now, again, real estate can be purchased physical. Okay. Currently, I think that is the only option available to us. There are some investments coming up, okay, where the mutual funds will invest into real estates. That means they will invest into either real estate making companies or they will invest into projects. Okay. But they are still in a very nascent stage. So we don't have much data about this real estate mutual funds. Then comes equity, the most interesting of all, equity. Direct equity. So if you are aware of stock markets and you know that how they can go up and down, how to choose a good company, how to track it. Many people nowadays are learning technical analysis, fundamental analysis. You have time and knowledge, you can directly buy the stock. So that is direct equity. If you don't want to get into that and you don't have much time to look after your equity investments, then you can go for equity mutual funds. Okay, so that is another asset class that we have. And fixed income. Fixed income is our PPF, NPS, EPF, fixed deposits, okay, postal investments, and tax-free bonds. And what is fixed income? Because they are already declared to you upfront that you will be getting X% of the interest. That's why it is called fixed income. The rest of the three classes will never tell you that I will give you 5% or 10% returns. Okay. So these are the overall asset classes. Now the question is how much to invest in what? Gold we have decided, okay, not more than 10 to 15%. But how much money should I invest in equity? How much money should I? So what should be my decision factor? You should ask three questions. What is the tax treatment given to each of these assets? Okay. How safe it is and how liquid it is. Okay. So as they say, every investment has its own characteristics. It comes with its own characteristic. Okay. For example, fixed income, as the name suggests, is going to tell you that I will give you 7% return. I will give you 6% return and it will keep giving that way. Okay. So is it safe? Yeah, much better because I can actually see that how much money I'm going to get. If I go for a good nationalized bank or a better bank, or even selecting the bonds, I select all AAA rated companies. That means I am having a safer investment. Okay, so that's good. So one point is good, safe. Post tax. Tax is depending on all the fixed incomes except for the PPF are taxable. Okay. How it will be taxed? It will get added to your tax, whatever is your tax slab. As per that, it will get taxed. So that one problem is there. If you are at a higher tax bracket, then it will be taxed little more. Okay. So that is one thing. Third is liquidity. Is it liquid? Except for NPS, EPF, and PPF. If it is fixed deposits, if it is debt mutual funds, okay, these are that way liquid. You can break your fixed deposit and the money can come to your account in 24 hours. Okay. But PPF, NPS by nature, they are retirement related investments and that's why they have a longer lock-in period. Okay. So this is how you should talk to yourself, okay, before investing in any of the investments. What is the post-tax return? What is the safety? What is the liquidity? Okay, for another example, we'll take equity. Is it safe? Okay, it's volatile. We all know that it is volatile. So today the market is going up, tomorrow the war starts, it's going to collapse. Okay. So it is, yeah, it's ups and downs, it's volatile. Post-tax return, yeah, it is better because there is no fixed income and that's why it is not added directly to your tax slab, correct? It has another way of doing the taxation. We'll see that. Okay. Liquid, is it liquid? Yes, it is liquid because any share can be purchased and sold on the stock market. So liquidity is good. Okay. So such discussion you must have. Learn each and every asset class. What are the characteristics? What are the pros and cons? How it can go bad? Why it can go bad? If it is good, how much good can it go? Now, such kind of discussion and study has to be done by all of us. Okay. This is another slide which shows like in 1990, if somebody would have invested in 10,000 in equity, okay, where that person would have reached in 2020. So in 30 years, this 10,000 would have grown to 5,26,000. So 14.13% interest. Bank deposit would have grown to 1,17,000. Even gold would have come to somewhere nearby only. Now, what is the learning from this slide? The learning is, though you go, see what happens, we just see 14.13% and we get excited about it. Yes, I want to invest into equity. But you can see how it has gone up and down, up and down, up and down. No doubt that it will go up. Okay. Definitely, if the country is doing well, the economy is steady, it will go up. But you have to give it time. Okay. And what happens to bank deposit? It is growing steadily, but it has a limit on how much will it grow. It cannot beat equity in the long run. Okay. So the moral of the story is you need to invest in equity long term. You need to invest in bank deposits for short term and gold as a protection against any kind of a problem because gold is called, it's a universal, or you can say it's a global investment. Okay. Gold values get fluctuated based on the global events. Okay. So gold is also important. So what we are trying to tell you here is, okay, before that, we will just take a quick snapshot of what are mutual funds. We all invest into mutual funds. I think advertisement also comes quite a bit. Mutual fund sahi hai. And we know that how mutual fund is done. It is nothing but you want to go by car, but you don't know the driving. So what you do, you hire a driver. So I want to invest into equity. I want to invest into the debt market, but I don't have time to do that myself. I will ask any mutual fund scheme to do it for myself. I will keep investing either way of SIP or lump sum investment. I will put into that particular scheme, which is managed by an asset management company. Okay. So just an example, we all have heard about HDFC mutual fund, SBI mutual fund, Axis mutual fund. Okay. They are all asset management companies and they have various mutual fund schemes. Okay. We select one such scheme, we keep investing into it, and there is a fund manager who will take care of that money. Okay. That money is called asset under management. Okay. And the fund manager will manage the asset under management. He will either invest it into equity or debt market or gold or the combination of that. So depending on the percentage of equity, percentage of debt, that particular mutual fund is classified as equity mutual fund, debt mutual fund, or hybrid mutual fund. Okay. There are 5 categories SEBI has defined: equity mutual fund, debt mutual fund, hybrid mutual fund. In that also, there are aggressive, where more component of equity is there. And then there are conservative, there where more component of debt is there. There are solution oriented, like if a child is small, you want to invest SIP, you want to do till the time the child becomes say 18-year-old. Okay, or you want to invest for your retirement. So there are specific solution oriented mutual funds, or there is something called global. You want to invest into American companies. So can you do that? Now you can do that directly also. But if you want to go through mutual fund route, then there are schemes available who are investing into US market or Japanese market, or across the globe, say all agricultural companies across the globe. So such mutual funds are also available. Mutual funds for your information, can be purchased through mutual fund distributors, which are called regular schemes, or you can purchase them directly from the companies, asset management companies. Okay, that is called direct mode. The difference is, because you are buying it directly from the asset management companies, the commission part is not going anywhere and that is passed on to yourself. Okay, so if you study mutual fund well, you can manage your portfolio yourself, you can go for direct mode also. So as I said, equity mutual fund, whenever the equity portion is more than 65%, okay, that time it is called equity mutual funds. What it should be used? It should be used for long term. So if you want to stay invested for 5 years and more, 5 6 years and more, you can invest into equity mutual fund. Preferably, you should invest through SIPs. Okay, so that volatility of your investments are taken care of. That market, when it fluctuates, when you are doing the SIP, it will get adjusted properly. What is a taxation? This is a good part of equity. Whatever is your tax slab, okay, if you are investing into equity, the gain is the gain is called capital gains. First of all, the gain will be called capital gains. And if it is less than 12 months, then that means you bought something in the month of January 24 and you sold it in, say, October 24. That means you are holding it for less than 12 months. It is called short term capital gains. Okay. And 15% is charged on that value that you have, profit that you have achieved. Okay. But if you hold it for more than 1 year, so you bought it in January 24 and you sold it in, say, February 25. That means you are holding it for more than 12 months. It is called long term capital gain. And the best part is, till the time your long term capital gain doesn't cross a lakh of rupees, the gain, okay, it's not that the entire amount, it's not that I invested 1 lakh and then I sold it for 1,50,000, so I have to pay tax. No, because the gain is 50,000, which is less than a lakh, you don't have to pay any tax. Only when you exceed that 1 lakh, so you bought something for 1 lakh, you sold it for 2,25,000, that means now you have actually gained 1,25,000. Okay, then first 1 lakh is still tax free, and the remaining 25,000 you will have to pay only 10% tax. So this is a very, very beautiful, tax perspective. It's a very beautiful investment. Okay, so what are the advantages of equity mutual funds? One, there is a fund manager who is taking care of your money, which is going to get invested into equity, because we have seen equity is the only one which can actually beat the inflation. So you have no other way but to invest into equity. Plus, you have a taxation benefit. Okay, so please do consider equity mutual funds as a part of your portfolio. Where will be the debt mutual funds used? For anything less than 5 years. Okay. Debt mutual fund is little more complicated than equity mutual funds because they invest into bonds, and the bond market depends on the economy of the country. The you must have heard RBI coming out with every quarter reports, and repo rates are changed. So there is something called increasing interest rate cycle and decreasing interest rate cycle. So this bond dynamics actually depends on that, and depending on that, how much money your debt mutual fund can earn is decided. But overall, it is more steady than your equity mutual fund. Okay, this can be used under the guidance of someone. So if you can study the mutual funds debt side of it, it's great. Otherwise, you can ask advice from any of your financial planner or mutual fund advisor. Taxation, earlier it was a better taxation, but last 2 years, this taxation is same like your FD. So you can see whether you hold it for 36 months. Earlier it used to be short-term capital gain if you hold it till 3 years, and beyond 3 years, long-term capital gain, and there is to be a difference in the taxation. But now there is no such difference. And so some of the people are not so much keen on investing into debt mutual fund, but they have a good potential of generating little better than fixed deposits. Okay, in the as I said, in the interest rate cycles. Now, another thing we have to remember, we have seen the asset classes, okay, but they just don't exist independently, okay. We can see some correlations between them. For example, debt and stock. So, whenever the economy goes up, stock market is doing well, that time the debt, the interest rates will be less, okay, and that is how it is managed. So that means they are negatively correlated, debt and stock. So if you want to balance your portfolio, you should have equity, you should also have debt. Because when one goes up, the other is going down, but the person going up, I mean, the asset going up is actually holding your portfolio. Okay. So you should have a combination of debt and stock. Similarly, real estate and stock, they go hand in hand. Okay. That is, they are positively correlated to each other. Gold and stocks are again negatively correlated with each other. And so, asset allocation is very important to have a balanced portfolio. You should have 10 to 15% of the gold, some amount of real estate, some amount of equity, some amount of fixed deposit. The three questions, as I said, you have to ask what is the tax treatment given, the safety of the investment, and how long I want to stay invested, and how quickly I want the money to come to me. So, liquidity. So, these three questions you need to ask. This is just a suggestion. This is not like recommendation, but this is just a suggestion. If you want an aggressive portfolio, then maybe 65% of your money can get into the equity and 20% to the fixed income and 15% to the gold. If you are very conservative, then it can be like more money goes to the fixed income and debt, less money goes to equity. But this is only the risk part of it. So this is, you have to decide what kind of risk profile I have, and can I go this way. If I go this way, then can I fulfill my goals? Because the next part we are going to talk about is financial planning, and that is more about your goal. Why are you investing? Why are you doing wealth management? Because you want to fulfill your life goals. Okay. Now there are 5 steps which you have to uh, you must have into financial planning. Start with contingency planning, risk planning, goal based planning, retirement planning, and estate planning. What is contingency planning? In case something happens, emergency, how much money you should have. So we say that at least 3 to 6 months of your expenses you must keep aside. Okay, we all have seen COVID. We all have seen 2003, 2008, where people lost their jobs, the salaries were cut. So many things we have seen. So if such things happen, then I should be able to sustain for that long. Okay. So this is like emergency kitty you are keeping aside because your day-to-day expenses, medical expenses, everything is taken care of. So that is the first step towards your financial planning. Keep some emergency aside so that in case of emergency, you will not just disturb your investments left and right. What is the next thing? The next is your risk planning or insurance planning. You should have a life insurance. You should ask questions. Do I really need the life insurance? Under what situation will you need the life insurance? If you have any financial liability, or there are people who are financially dependent on you. One of these things are there, you have to have your life insurance. There are many ways of calculating how much insurance is required, but as a thumb rule, 20 times of your annual income plus your outstanding liabilities plus your dependent expenses. This is the total amount of life insurance you should have. I'm sure you all will be knowing how much premium you are paying, but you should also sit and calculate how much sum assured you have. Okay, so I think you should go back home and you should just do that homework for yourself. Preferably take a term insurance instead of taking endowment policies and money back policies, because I think term insurance is a very pure vanilla kind of a thing where only your mortality is taken care of, and that is much cheaper also. The remaining money you can use in other asset classes and invest it accordingly. Health insurance is again important. Even if your company is paying you health insurance, see to it that you have a private, your own health insurance, family floater, okay, at least 25 lakhs, so that, in addition to your company policy, you change the company or your company changes the policy, then, you shouldn't be left surprised. This is the calculation we said. So if your salary per month is say 50,000, annual salary becomes 6 lakhs. So 20 times of that is 1.2 crores. So let us assume that 30 lakhs one wants to keep aside for children education and marriage, and 35 lakhs is the outstanding loan. So total sum assured one should take is 1.85 crores. So one should have such calculations ready. In health insurance, you should have health insurance, and preferably you can also check what is the critical illness cover. Okay, so there are certain fatal kind of illnesses which are listed down, and one can take the cover for that. Unfortunately, if a person is getting detected about that particular fatal diseases, but that person should survive for 30 days after that detection, then that lump sum amount is given to the person. So that is called critical illness cover. Now, another important part, once these two steps are done, these are like steps, like you have the emergency fund so that you will not disturb your portfolio. Then you have taken care of the insurance cover. So you have taken care of the eventuality. And now you are very free in your mind that now what are my goals and how I get prepare for it. Okay. So what are my goals? We have to keep in the mind our time value of money concept. Okay. You are supposed to draw this timeline for yourself. Okay, you have to find out in 2024 I am today, then what is my goal? Suppose I want to buy a car in 2025, my child's graduation comes sometimes, my retirement coming sometime. After that, that's very important. After that, till my life expectancy. So suppose I say that based on my family history, 85 is my life expectancy, and 85 is my life expectancy for my wife also. Okay. So from 60 to 85, that is 25 years for me, and my wife is going to be there for 30 years from 2046. So I have to be ready for all these expenses myself. And these are like children marriage, children education, graduations. These are my goals. Once you have identified this timeline, you are supposed to put the number of how much money you are going to spend for each of these goals. As of today, okay, as of today, suppose for child graduation, you think that 15 lakhs will be required. Just write it down. Child's post graduation, another 30 lakhs will be required. Write it down. Children's marriage, I want to spend another 10 lakhs. Write it down. Okay. And then what you will do? You will use inflation. Okay. You know that we are in 2024. The child's graduation is 2037. So though I say that 15 lakhs I'm going to require today, it's not going to remain at 15 lakhs. So in next 13 years, that 1.5 lakhs will become 15 lakhs will become how much? Okay. So we will use that CAGR kind of a thing, and we will find out what is the future rate or future expense I'm targeting. So let us say that it will become 20 lakhs. That means my dream figure is 20 lakhs and not 15 lakhs. 15 lakhs is the base, which told me that, okay, if I spend it today 15 lakhs, put inflation to that, it's going to become say 20 lakhs. So my target is 20 lakhs. So that clarity you will achieve when you will draw this timeline. Okay. I'll give you an example. Okay. So there is something called current value, and there is going to be a future value. Okay. Inflation and time frame you will put to it. So you will then allocate that, okay, these are the investment I'm keeping for my child's education. I will have to add some more investment so that I can achieve the goal. Example, I will tell you. Suppose I want to buy a car today, which is costing 5 lakhs today. I want to buy it after 5 years. So that kind of a car, after 8% of the inflation is going to cost me 7 lakh 34,000. What I have, okay, there is one FD which is maturing, okay, so in 2024 March. So I'll say, okay, these 3 lakhs I'll keep aside for these goals. Now, what is the calculation I have to do? Current value is 5 lakhs, 8% inflation in 5 years will make it 7 lakh 34,000. This FD 3 lakhs, which is maturing, I'll reinvest at 6%. After 5 years, it will become 4 lakh 1,000. And so the difference between the car price and the money I have is 3 lakh 33,000. To achieve that, I have 5 years. If I start an RD or SIP for say for 6% annual returns, I should start at least 4,700 every month so that I can bridge the gap and I can achieve the goal. So this is the thought process of financial planning. Okay. Another step, which is retirement planning. Please start your retirement planning today itself, whatever age you are, even if you are in your early 20s or early 30s. Don't wait till you become 50-year-old. Please start your retirement planning. Keep aside some money for the retirement. Okay. PPF, EPF, NPS, these are the building blocks of retirement. Okay. And we really don't understand how much money we need for the retirement. This is just a example, that I am just giving you. Okay, someone is having a total monthly expense of 25,000. That means annually 3 lakhs. Okay, 7% inflation we are taking. That person is say 39 years. So 21 more years to go for the retirement. So this 3 lakhs with inflation is going to become 12 lakhs. Okay. You remember the timeline? So the person draws the timeline that after 60, how much I am going to live. He feels that I am going to live till the age of 80. Okay, that means 20 years in the retirement. Now, if the inflation continues to be 7% and he gets returns, say 9.9, 9.2%, still the retirement corpus required is going to be around 2 crores of rupees. Okay, and this is the net return. What is the net return? The return you are getting, out of that you just remove your, there is a formula, but you can just say that I remove my inflation part of it. So around 2% only I get real rate of return. Okay, and what happens if the inflation goes up? This is with the assumption that I'm going to have only 7% inflation. What happens if the inflation rises? My corpus will go, it will get consumed faster. Okay, instead of 20 years it may get consumed in 17 years only, right? So this is the thought process you must have when you are doing the retirement planning for yourself. Okay, and the last step of financial planning is estate planning. Whatever estate we have created, accumulated, should be handed over to someone properly. So we should drive a will. Okay, we all know about will. So if you have not written and if you have assets, please do write it. A very quick case study, because I think I'm running short of time now. Very quick case study I will show you. It's a family of three: Girish, Shaila, and Neena. Girish is 35, Shaila is 31, Neena is 2-year-old. Okay. Their income 65,000 a month. Okay. These are the expenses. Remember, they are following the steps that we have decided. So household, lifestyle, dependent, insurance, loan, everything goes off. What is the investable surplus? 23,000. How much percentage of his annual of his income is 36%. So it's a very good healthy ratio, right? 25% or more it should be. It is 36%. It's a good ratio. What are the goals they have for their child? They want 5 lakhs for Nina's graduation, post graduation 15 lakhs, 5 lakhs for her marriage. Present value, okay, as of today. Now, how they can do the calculation? See, you can create an Excel sheet like this. Present value, let us only focus on to the graduation part of it, okay? So the present value is 5 lakhs. Goal age is 18 years. Now she is 2-year-old. That means how many years are still there for the goal? 16 years, okay? 8% is the inflation, education inflation. So this 5 lakhs will become 17 lakhs in 16 years. Okay. That means he has to chase 17 lakhs. Okay. He has no investment which can be allotted. So he is just starting afresh. He is just starting afresh for his child. So what he should do? Every month, if he invest 4,000, okay, and his investment earns say 9% also, he'll be able to achieve it. Okay. Where should he invest? The goal is 16 years ahead. So equity mutual fund or equity can be a very good place to invest. Okay. So this 4,000 can get invested into his, he can start an SIP. Similarly, he has done the calculation for her post graduation and the marriage. So 4,000 plus 10,000 plus 3,000, so around 17,000 per month if he invests, he'll be able to achieve all the goals for his child. Okay. But what happens is he feels that if my investable surplus, everything goes here, what will I do in my retirement? And so he decides post graduation, I'll keep aside, I'll do it later. So maybe he can currently start only 4,000 plus 3,000, 7,000 towards graduation and marriage. And after 5 years, he can start when he thinks that his salary will grow or his position will be better, he will start. Now, these are the questions one has to ask yourself while you are doing the financial planning. Okay. So we have the goals and then we have the destination. We have to find the gap and we have to bridge the gap. Excel can help you do this very well. These are some of the functions in Excel. PV is the present value, FV is the future value. Okay, so this is all we spoke about to find out what is the current value of your goal, and then you know the time duration and you know the rate of your inflation. You can find the future value. So all these are very easy to understand functions available in Excel. So if the same parameters are there, so for calculating PV, rest four are the parameters. For calculating rate, rest four are the parameters. So it is not very difficult to understand. So I think that's it. That is what I wanted to share with you. And now we are open for question and answers.
Ma'am, thank you so much. That was wonderful, extremely informative, and I'm sure it will give wonderful perspective to all of our audience members.
Thank you.
Quickly address some of the questions we've
Your voice is breaking, Amrita, but I don't know whether it's only for me.
I apologize. Am I better now? My voice clear now?
No, I can't hear you. Maybe
Hi Shilpa, I think Amrita has some problem with audio.
yeah.
So thank you for such an informative session and useful tips you have given to all of us. Hope we have all have a good learning from this session and
Yes.
help us plan our finance. So let's start with the question we have. Yeah, the first question we have is Bharat Nerkar has asked us how much percent to invest in equity and fixed income.
Yeah. So as I told Bharat, you should start with the timeline. Okay. So don't just jump to what should be the asset allocation. First of all, find what are your goals. Once you have your goals, understand what is your risk appetite. What is risk appetite? Suppose you invest 100 rupees in say equity and tomorrow market crashes and it comes down to say 90. Will you be able to sustain it? Or you'll be fine with it? Okay. What if it goes to 70? Will you be able to sustain it or you will get palpitations? Now, this is where your risk appetite comes in the picture. So, these are some of the questions you ask yourself. What is my timeline for each goal? Okay. And what is my risk appetite? Now, if your goals are more than 5 years, for those goals which are more than 5 to 6 years away, you can definitely invest your equity. Okay, because they will give you the enough time. You have enough time. Even if market goes down, comes up, you have enough time for all that jugglery. And invest on SIP. Okay, any goal which is less than 5 years, please stick to the debt or fixed income. Okay, that is how you decide your asset allocation.
Okay, thank you, Shilpa. Few of our participants are asking if we can get the PPT of your this financial.
I'll try and send the PDF to you.
Sure, thanks a lot. Then there is one more question. Uh, in the case study, we saw in the PPT there will be year-on-year increase in the salary so that one can invest appropriately.
Yes.
Okay. So what is the question? I think okay, that's not a question. Uh, yeah, then one question I myself have, Shilpa. On an
Yes.
average, how one should divide the finance in different kind of investments?
Yeah, annually you must take a stock of it. Okay, because your life situation keep changing, your goals may change, the value may change, your salaries may change. Okay, so once in a year at least, you must take a stock of where all investments you have done and how you have actually distributed your money and how close or far you are from your goal. You remember the asset allocation, isn't it? So you have decided that 60% I am an aggressive person. So overall, I think I will have 60% in the equity, 40% and so and so. But you may not have all the money at the same time. Okay, like in the case study, the person wanted 17 lakhs. I can even invest 5 lakhs and 6 lakhs today and then say that I will not invest, but I should have that 7 lakhs and 6 lakhs with me, no lump sum, which I may not have. So most often what we are doing, we are putting the SIPs. So what are the variables comes in the picture? One is our salary, our income can go up. Suddenly maybe you have to take some loans, so that liability has come up. Or as far as your mutual fund is concerned, suddenly the fund manager has changed. Okay, so there are cases where the fund manager has changed and that fund is not doing well. Okay. Now, in that case, what happens? So you have to give some time for the new fund manager to perform. But after 3 quarters continuously, if the performance is going down, you have to see ki whether I have to continue with this scheme or I need to change this scheme. So such discussions you have to have. And that's why annually, at least you must revise in the sense review, not revise, but review. You may not change anything, but at least you should know that you are on the right path.
Okay, thanks. Thank you for the tips. And I think one more question. You talked about insurance policies also. So
Yes.
how one should divide the investment between one should take a call like how much one should invest in insurance and how much to invest in other investment like equity, mutual funds and all.
Okay. So now the thing is, people always want returns. So as a financial coach, I will always advise that insurance should be seen as financial protection against some calamity. That is the definition of insurance. It is not an investment. Okay. So we don't recommend our clients to get into endowment policies, money back policies, whole life policies. These are the investments and insurance together. Now the problem here is when you pay, what is the difference between a term insurance and these policies? Term insurance is a pure vanilla, as I said. It will only take care of the mortality. So if a 38-year-old is taking term insurance of 1 crore, he may have to pay say 30,000 rupees, okay, for 1 crore, right? But if he goes for endowment policy, which normally we all have, okay, endowment, what is endowment policy? They will tell you that you pay for next 10 years and after 20 years or 30 years you will get x amount back. Okay, most of us have such policies. These are called mainly endowment policies. But here what is happening is they have to take care of your mortality. So 1 crore, if you want to have sum assured in endowment policies, your premium will go beyond a lakh of rupees, because after that 30,000 they will consider as your premium for the mortality. The remaining they have to invest because they have to pay you money back. From where are you getting that money back? Your money is only getting invested and it is getting some benefits and coming back. So on and off, if you see, most of these endowment policies or money back policies, they are giving you nothing more than 5 to 6% in return. Okay, it's only that we feel happy with the numbers, behavioral finance, as I mentioned. Okay, because the person is telling you what numbers you pay 10,000 now, or you pay 50,000 for the next 10 years, you are paying 5 lakhs, and after 30 years you will get 15 lakhs or 20 lakhs. Now you feel so happy about it that I have invested 5 lakhs, I'm going to get 20 lakhs. But just do some math, just go to Excel and see what is the rate of return you are getting for whatever policies you have. Okay, so My suggestion as a financial coach will be, if you already have taken, I'm not saying surrender all your policies, but at least have a look at it. See how much sum assured they have. See what is the surrender value as of today. Okay. Ask for all the policies surrender value from your agent or from the company they will give you. And then see the calculations, like how much returns have you received till today of those policies. So take you cannot say no to term insurance, because otherwise you will not be able to get a huge sum assured. What is important, if something happens to us, our family should get that money which is sufficient enough to fulfill the financial goals. 20 और 30 लाख में क्या होने वाला है? Nothing is going to happen. Okay, so you have to have a larger sum assured. Larger sum assured without term insurance is very difficult. And term insurance people don't like, because at the end of it you get nothing. People feel that, मेरा मतलब whatever premium मैंने भरा वो चला गया पैसा. No, I mean, you survived, you should be happy about it. So, that is the thought process you should have.
Okay, thank you. I think it's more of a complimentary message. It's like great session, well framed, explained clearly. Thank you organizing for such a and good session.
Thank
Uh,
you. There are some
yeah.
things I think, if you want, I can just, somebody wants to know the advantages and risk associated with the hybrid mutual funds. See, there is, as I said, there are plus and minus to both. Hybrid, as the name suggests, it's a combination of asset, equity, and debt mutual funds together. Okay. So it's a good fund to start with if you want a balanced portfolio. Okay. So that is why the hybrid funds are there. Those who want to have the flavor about both the assets. So you can go for that. Risk is like, there is risk is something you can say that they are negatively correlated. We have seen that debt and equity are negatively correlated. So you may not see a very fantastic return of 30-40% in your portfolio, but when the market goes down you will not go to the minuses also to a large extent. Okay, you may have to, it is balancing, because some portion is into the equity, some portion is into the debt. The percentage of equity and debt will decide how your scheme will function. Which mutual fund schemes are safer for investment in terms of risk factor, equity or debt? I think now you know the question, you know the answer. Okay, which are safer? If you take long term, there is no safe in mutual funds, as they say, subject to the market risk. So no mutual fund is safe as such, because they are not giving you any fixed income. They are only telling that I will invest into equity, I will invest into debt. So there is no risk. The percentage, if you ask me, probability of risk is more into the equity mutual fund, but debt funds are equally risky. I mean, that's a point you must notice, because people feel that debt में डाला मतलब, nowadays the ad is also coming fixed income mutual funds. ऐसा नहीं है, there is a risk there also. So you must understand and study the risk properly.
Yeah. And I think there is one last question.
Yeah.
Um, how frequently we should revisit the planning we did and the investment and future predictions, especially in view of the age factor from 30 to 40 or 40 to 50?
As I said, for everyone, it is annual. Financial planning, if you have done, then maybe once in 3 years you can visit the financial plan per se. But the wealth management part of it, every year you must review it, how much you are on the target. If there is a major event in your life, then of course you have to revisit your financial plan.
Okay. I think we have got a good learning from you. So, no, I just trying to share. Yeah. So once again, wow, WEC PMI Mumbai chapter team, thank you, you to Shilpa for giving
Okay.
such an enlightenment and informative session. Uh, I, Aparna Khatiwala, VP Certification and Training PMI Mumbai chapter and lead person of WOW WEC PMI Mumbai chapter team. I thank all the volunteers of the team, that is the WOW WEC PMI Mumbai chapter team. I thank you technical support team, which they helped us organize this event. And I'll share the PDU code. This is the PDU code, and we WOW team organizes such events under the series How to WOW Transforming Mind, in which we do events like panel discussions, mentoring sessions, webinars, and all. So see you all in our next event, which will be coming soon. Thanks once again, Shilpa, for
Thank you.
taking your giving us your uh, time. And I request, I think we are done for today's session. I request WOW team to be online for taking a photo.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. हम्म, आई थिंक सुनील हम लोग एक फोटो खींच ले. Sunil,
Yes, done.
and I'll take one more. Wait. I'll take one more. One, two. No, sorry. तो सुनील तुमने ले लिया ना, तो मेरे से हो नहीं रहा है मोबाइल पे. Yes, done. Okay. Thanks a lot. Bye.